Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Tensura x Kuma Kuma Bear, Tensura by NullAzatoth Chapter 9. The next day. Yuna. Where is everyone? Yuna wakes up alone in bed. Yuna. Why did they not wake me up? Pout. Yuna got ready and wore her clothes. She then went to the dining room of the mansion. There she saw Misa, Fina and Nore playing with Ranga. She was surprised seeing Ranga. Meanwhile, Shia and Leonora are chatting with Velzard, Shuna, Shizu, Grace and Lilith. While Cliff is having a conversation with Devil, Diablo and Gran. Misa and Gran stayed at the Fosteros' mansion. Seeing this annoyed her. They didn't bother waking her and inviting her. She was pouting cutely while crossing her arms. Velzard. Good morning Yuna-chan. The others also looked towards Yuna, only for her to pout more and ignored Velzard. The others seeing this couldn't believe what they saw, and Velzard was surprised. Velzard. Why Yuna-chan? Velzard was troubled. Why would Yuna ignore her? Wasn't she her self-proclaimed favorite sister? Yuna just looks away, ignoring her. Velzard was shaken. The youngest ignored her. Velzard fell from her chair and was laying on her knees. The others were still surprised from her behavior. Shizu. Yuna, is there something wrong? And just like Velzard, she also ignored Shizu. This made her froze. Shizu. Why Yuna? Please talk to me. Yuna just looks away from Shizu, showing how she ignores her. This time it was Shizu who fell on her knees. Shuna and Grace were troubled. She never acted like this before. Eleonora. Maybe she is on her rebellious phase? Cliff. I don't know, this isn't like her. Shuna. Etta. Yuna, did something happen? Yuna didn't care. She went on the chair, clearly ignoring Shuna, who was worried. Shuna and the others love Yuna and truly spoils her. It would be like a world-ending event if Yuna ever hated them. And Yuna ignored her three sworn sisters. Shuna also fell on her knees. Grace, seeing this, was dumbfounded. Grace. Okay, this is getting out of hand. Why is she ignoring us? Did she wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Everyone was troubled, until Rimuru. Alright, breakfast is ready. Yuna, you're awake. Perfect, we can have our breakfast. But Yuna ignored Rimuru. Now this surprised everyone. Rimuru. Yuna. Yuna had a grumpy expression and ignored Rimuru. This shook Rimuru to his core. Yuna is ignoring him? Rimuru. Did I do something wrong? Rimuru was panicking. He doesn't want Yuna to hate him. But seeing the despair in Velzard, Shuna and Shizu's faces made him realize that he isn't the only one who she is ignoring. Rimuru. Yuna, please explain, we can talk about it. Rimuru was desperate, which was visible in his movements and facial expression. Yuna. None of you waked me up, while you guys are chatting and all. You left me alone in bed, Yuna crossed her arms, pouting cutely. Everyone. Kawaii, she is still cute even when she is angry. Rimuru. I thought it was better to not wake you up, you looked exhausted. Shizu. That's right, we didn't want to wake you up, so you could have a good sleep. Shuna. As Rimuru and Shizu said, we didn't want to exclude you in our morning. Velzard frantically nods her head. Velzard. That's right, please believe us, we didn't intend to leave you out, but you were quite tired, so we let you sleep more, so please don't hate me. Aren't I your favorite, self-proclaimed, eldest sister? Shizu and Shuna, hearing the last part, glared at Velzard. Shizu. Since when had she been the favorite elder sister of Yuna-chan? Shuna. Isn't she getting ahead of herself? Yuna, hearing this, gave a small glance. Yuna. Really? All four of them nodded comedically fast. Yuna. Sigh. Fine, I forgive you four, but you better wake me up next time. They swore to never leave Yuna out. Yuna. So you made breakfast, Rimuru? Rimuru. Yeah, I thought about making it, so I asked Eleonora if I could borrow the kitchen and she agreed. Eleonora. I'm quite surprised that someone of your standing can cook, Rimuru-san, not to mention to cook for someone like us is a bit. Rimuru. It's fine, you see, for his position and status has little meaning, What connection does it have to hinder you from doing what you want? Even my wives cook for their subordinates from time to time. Shuna over there has her own restaurant, and occasionally cooks there, even if he has the status of a queen and goddess. This made Eleonora smile. She can confirm that Yuna would be safe and happy in his care. Eleanor. I see, Rimuru. Anyways, let's eat. I made some eggs, sausage, fried rice and bacon. I also made tonkatsu and hamburger steak. The smell of the food drifted to the dining hall while the maids and butlers were serving them. Diablo was also seated since Cliff invited him to eat with them. Eleonora. These are quite delicious, Rimuru-san, Eleonora said while eating the garlic fried rice Rimuru made. Cliff. Yes, also this tonkatsu is chicken. Yes, it is very juicy and tender. Rimuru. Yeah, but you can use other meats as well, just tenderize it before coating it. Gran. And this, what do you call it, hamburger? It is very flavorful. Rimuru. Well, this is just a standard meal for breakfast. If you guys want, I'll make dinner tonight. Yuna beamed hearing this. Yuna. Really? Then can you make curry and rice? Rimuru. Of course, anything for my Yuna. Yuna. Thank you. Yuna hugged Rimuru. Seeing this made sweat. He has never seen Yuna act this clingy and childish. Later on, Misa and Gran decided to return to their mansion. Yuna. By the way, Eleonora-san, how did the princess and king reacted after I died? Eleonora had a troubled look. Eleanor. We actually hid it from the princess, but the king was worried how her daughter would react, not to mention, that man Gruzum appeared. Yuna. Gruzum? Rimuru. Ah, it must be that guy. He was annoying. He kept going on and on about how we wasted his long preparations for revenge. I got annoyed, so I used Azatoth on him. He is still alive, by the way. Do you guys want him? Cliff. He is the culprit for this, so we wish to punish him for his actions. Rimuru. I see, we will meet with the king later, so why not release him there so they can take care of it? Cliff. That's enough. He will be given death sentence, but it's better for the citizens to know, so they could have a peace of mind. Rimuru. I understand, that's why I didn't kill him. I thought you guys might want him. Cliff nods in acknowledgement. Eleanor. So Yuna, what do you want to do? Yuna. Well, my place is destroyed, right? And I lost my power to make bear houses, but I can just use my new powers to make a house. Hearing this surprised Eleonora, Cliff, Nore and Fina, who was especially surprised hearing she lost her power to make the bear house. Rimuru. Do you want to have that bear house back? I can create a skill if you want. Yuna looks at Rimuru dumbfoundedly. He really is spoiling her. Yuna. No need. I have been practicing and mastering my earth magic and creation magic lately, although I am relying on the soul corridor and not my own power to use creation magic. I still can't tap on primitive magic. I need to be a saint to reach that level of power, while using the soul corridor to borrow some of your skills. Rimuru. Are you sure? I can make a skill so you don't need to rely on me. With this you will have your own power, and it would be easier for you. Yunav. It's fine. I'll take time to attain them on my own. I'm your wife-to-be, so this much is needed. Rimuru. I see, Cliff. Can we watch you recreate your house? Yuna. I don't mind. Yuna and the others went outside. Yuna looking at her now destroyed property. She used earth magic and leveled the whole IJ the middle, where her house was supposed to be. She then created her house slowly with earth magic. Yuna. This is similar to my bear house creation, but it's harder to control since it needs more focus. Rimuru. Power of the cardinal world is pure and doesn't rely on anything but your own control and focus. Meanwhile, Cliff, Eleonora, Nore and Fina were stunned. Yuna was creating a house from nothing, and the level of Fuko's was insane. She was literally creating every details like drawing a house. Shizu. Not bad, Yuna-chan, but you need to have more clear focus and control. Velzard. Yes, if you don't visualize it properly, there will be some mistakes, or the structure would be weak and easily to destroy. Shuna. Imagine the walls being filled and solidified completely, so it would be hard, then used metal to base the structures, covering it with hardened rock. Imagine it as cement, while using clay as binder, then refine it. Yuna followed the advice and the result. She was able to visualize clearer and the burden lessened. It became easier to form. In less than 10 minutes, the house was finished. Rather, it was a mansion. Everyone. Yuna. Yuna was sweating profusely. Yuna. I guess I overdid it, tee. Cliff. Sigh, as expected she didn't change much. Yuna. What do you mean by that? Yuna was blushing in embarrassment. Fina. Yuna Wanichan always overdo things. Everyone nods, even Rimuru's group. Yuna. Why are you guys agreeing? Grace. I mean, you literally overdo everything you do. Like that one time you were supposed to have an easy sparring with the others, but you beat them to a pulp. Velzard. Or that time I thought you ice magic, and almost froze the neighboring countries. Shizu. Or the time I was teaching you how to use a sword you cut a whole mountain. Shuna. There was that time that a noble annoyed you and sent him flying. Yuna. Stop. Okay, that's enough, I understand what you mean. Yuna was embarrassed. Rimuru. Sigh. Yuna, you got too spoiled. Rimuru's group looked at him dumbfounded. Tensura. And who do you think is at fault? Rimuru? And just like that, Rimuru got scolded by his wives, when they were also spoiling Yuna just as Rimuru spoiled her. Later on they entered the mansion. Eleonora. Wow, this mansion is so beautiful, it surpassed ours. No, it might even surpass the royal castle. Yuna. Well, I visualized the castle back in Tempest, so it was based on that, but even then it's not even close to the imperial castle of Tempest, Nervine. Rimuru. Well, Seal was the one who designed it. She wanted the castle to represent majesty, power, authority, and symbolizes the void. Eleonora. Seal. Yuna. She is the first empress, one of the 5 empresses of Tempest. Shizu is the second empress and Velzard is the third, while Shuna is the first queen. I was given the 8th seat as a queen. Cliff. Wait, so there is a hierarchy amongst the queens and empress? Rimuru. Yeah, at first the girls wanted to take the first wife position, then Seal took it. Shizu then took the second, and you know how it went, it was chaotic. Velzard. I still remember it, at that time me and Velgrand even fought. You'd be surprised how the world was getting chaotic caused by our childishness at that time. Shuna. I'm gonna be honest, we really were childish, but we didn't mean any malice, we were only fighting for Rimuru-sama's attention at that time. Shizu. Well, it's in the past, thankfully we were able to fix everything. Rimuru. Well, the hierarchy is based on position, status, and authority. Seal is my eternal partner, she is part of my soul. Shizu is the first woman I loved and my first fated one, giving her the second empress seat. Third is Chloe, who went to many timelines, just to save me, giving her the 3rd seat. Velzard and Velgrand are true dragons, they have the 4th and 5th seat. Cliff. So that's how it is? Rimuru. Yes, Shuna is an Oni princess and she is the best choice as the first queen. As for the rest, those with royal and imperial status take the 2nd to 5th seat of queens. Luminous, who is a demon lord, together with Milam, is the 3rd and 4th seat, and the rest would be my patrons who I married. Eleonora. I see, but there are 18 girls, yes. So why is she the 8th seat rather than 14th? Isn't she the last? Rimuru. Well, trainee didn't want to have a high position. The same goes for the rest. Plus Yuna's status as an otherworlder with the same homeland as me gave her quite the status. Cliff. I see, Rimuru. Despite the hierarchy, they treat each other as equals, and they are equal in my eyes. Cliff and Eleonora nod. For the inheritance, there is none. I am immortal, so no one will take my seat. My children will be given positions, power, authority in their universe to rule if they wished, but if they choose to stay in the cardinal world, then they would have positions, but if anything ever happens to me, then it would be my child with Shizu who takes my position. Eleonora. That's understandable, but isn't she the second empress? Wouldn't it be the first empress child to take your throne? Rimuru. No, Seal has no such intention, plus they all have decided that a child of a hero, human, and demon lord would be the best ruler to maintain peace. Like I said, their positions have no meaning, they decide what to do. That's why they treat each other as equals. If they wish to have Yuna's child as my successor, then that's how it will be. But I think they already decided on the position for Yuna and my child. Fina, Shia, and Nore were excited hearing the topic of Yuna's child, although that would be in the future. Yuna. My child will take this world under her protection. Cliff and Eleonora hearing this was surprised, but if that's true, then this world's future is in safe hands. Eleonora. I see, But you mentioned 2 demon lords amongst your wife, what position will they take? Rimuru. About that, they might inherit their seats as demon lords. Every demon lord want to retire, that includes me. So a new era of demon lords might rise, which would be a council formed by our children. Almost every demon lords have children, except for me. Cliff raised a brow. Cliff. But isn't it necessary, for you of all people to have a child? You're the strongest and the ruler of the vast reality, so isn't it necessary for you to have a successor? Rimuru. Sigh, it's complicated, you see I need multiple successors. Not to mention I'm powerful, I don't have a reason to have a successor. But if needed I will have 3, one as a successor as ruler of Tempest and the Cardinal World. Next would be my successor as a demon lord, and finally a successor as a god. The reason for this is balance. A single individual having such level of power and authority isn't the best, I'm an exception, but if one ever chose that to become evil, then my other 2 children will stop him, her. But I doubt my child would choose to destroy my hard work. This is just to make sure that everything will be balanced. Cliff. I see, and like that they all chatted to know more about each other. Later on Eleonora led Rimuru, Yuna and Grace to the castle, Devil and Lilith followed behind Yuna. Meanwhile Velzard, Shuna and Shizu decided to look around town. But, Hana. Shizu-sama, I will accompany you, Shizu. Have to been in my shadow? Hana, hi? Akane. I as well Velzard-sama. Velzard. Sigh, how many times have I told you call me Velzard? We're friends also, I don't need a guard, you know. Akane. Even if you say that, you're an empress, Hikari. Himiko. Sama, I'll accompany you. Shuna. Didn't I tell you to stop calling me Himiko and call me by my name? Hikari. Hikari avoided eye contact. That's right, these are their most loyal subordinates. Back to Rimuru. Rimuru. Ho, not bad, this castle is on the same level as Ingrasha. Eleonora was happy to hear a compliment for their royal castle. They soon arrived at the throne room. Rimuru looks around impressed, then the king who is seated on the throne went to them. King Ferret. Ah, Eleonora, Rimuru Dono, Yuna Dono, and the girl who also fought yesterday, it's good to see you all. Eleonora. Hi, your majesty, I have brought them, also that girl is Grace, she is someone who also hold a status back in their world. Her status is equal if not above that of royalty. Hearing this surprised everyone in the room. King Ferret. I see, forgive me Grace Dono. Grace. King Ferret, I am but a mere demon lord candidate back in our world, and right now we are in another world. My status aren't like Lord Rimuru or his wives that transcends dimensions. Right now I am but a powerful individual accompanying Her Highness Yuna-sama. Yuna was surprised hearing Grace's words. She looks at Grace who was elegantly bowing. Yuna. Grace. Grace. Yuna-sama. There is more to your status than what you think it is. Unlike others who lose their status after leaving their territory, the beings above have status that aren't affected by such. Their status as rulers transcends dimensions, meaning right now you are a goddess and wife of the Absolute One. Yuna was shook, including everyone in the room. Eleonora didn't know of such things as well, which made her nervous. After all, Grace's words meant one thing. Rimuru and Yuna are the highest authority and power in this room right now. Rimuru. That's not necessary, they looked at Rimuru. Rimuru. If my Yuna wish to not use such status and authority, then it will not be used, meaning me and Yuna right now are just foreign imperials right now. Grace was stunned. Grace. Yo, your majesty, that's a bit. Rimuru. Stand up, Grace, right now we're here to visit Yuna's world. Grace was hesitant but followed. Rimuru. Well then, King Ferret, shall we have a talk? Rimuru said. Ferret nods in acknowledgement. He doesn't know much yet, but from the individual Grace's words and Eleonora who froze meant that the person named Rimuru is someone above and beyond him. King Ferret with his wife and son, and the Prime Minister together with Sonya the Guild Master went to a room. Rimuru explained everything that happened and major facts about the Cardinal World. Nothing was excluded. Hearing the explanation made the king's side nervous, in front if them as a real god. Not to mention Rimuru showed the wars back in his world. Even Yuna was speechless seeing such battles. Rimuru fighting Veldora and Velgrand. Milam versus Zelinus. Guy fighting Velzard, Milam rampaging and Rimuru stopping her. Such battles sent chills down their spine. But a single person was watching intently and excitedly. This was Grace. Grace. Such battle, to witness this is an honor. Grace said while trembling in joy. She was from a race that loved battles, so her instincts are reacting. Rimuru. Only a few live to tell the tale, Grace, and your mother is one of them. She was there when I fought Velgrand and Veldora. Grace. I'm so jealous of Mother, Grace pouted, but the others couldn't believe their eyes. It was a battle amongst gods. King Ferret. I see, and now your world is peaceful, Rimuru Dono, but may I ask, can we make an alliance? I know that your world is from a different world, but is there no way to make one? Rimuru. There is, but it's complicated, King Ferret. It's understandable, but in what way can we make it work? Rimuru. Yuna right now is my fiancée and we are not married yet. If you adopt her in the royal family as a princess, this would make everyone from both worlds acknowledge the union. Not to mention your country would be the center of this union. Both worlds will have to acknowledge your country as the bridge between the two worlds. Prince Elnart. So this information will be made public? Rimuru. It will, because this world will fall under my wing, or better under Yuna's protection. With that your world will be relocated to our universe, and will become much more powerful, and we need a single power to balance this world. That would be your country, and Yuna will be reason for the alliance, but your country is the bridge for the union. Your status, power and position will rise. Queen Keisha. So our country will become the central power of our world? Rimuru. Yes. Eleonora. But Rimuru-san, how will the others acknowledge ours? And I thought we will release false information to the public? Rimuru. Me and Yuna including the others will travel to take care of that. As for the information, we will change it. It's better to release a story that has truths and adjust it. So Yuna, who was loved by the goddess, was attacked by an external force. As gift the goddess reincarnated Yuna in a world above. The result was Yuna meeting Rimuru, who is a powerful being. And their feelings sprouted, etc. Eleanor. I see. They all talked about it. Also the king asked if Yuna could make the pudding in his party, which Rimuru and Yuna accepted. Rimuru. By the way, Ferret. King Ferret. Rimuru. Here, within Rimuru's hands was a purple vortex. They were startled, but Yuna signals them to calm down. Suddenly a body fell. Senya, Eleonora and Ferret was able to identify the person. Ferret. This is Gruzum? Eleonora. Guards take him to the dungeon. Rimuru. I guess that's all there is to it. Rimuru, finishing his business with the king, decided to explore the country with Yuna. Grace, Devil and Lilith decided to also look around. Later on Rimuru found the other three, but he saw Hana, Hikari and Akane fuming. Rimuru. Did something happen? Hana. Yes, Lord Rimuru. Some noble pig tried to ask Shuna-sama, Velzard-sama and Shizu-sama to be his concubine. I wanted to erase him from existence. The others hearing this tried to stop her, but it was too late. Yuna was surprised to hear this, and she wasn't happy. Yuna. Someone dares to do that? They have a death wish. But Rimuru's expression became cold. Rimuru. Where is this pig? Hana noticed her blunder became pale. Hana. The noble is in that place, my lord. Hana was scared shitless seeing Rimuru's expression. The girls tried to stop him, but he was releasing some killing intent. Hikari. Why, you idiot, look at what you did, Akane. It's not her fault. It was that pig's fault for asking such absurd demand. The people felt Rimuru's killing intent, although very little. For the likes of them, it was like a mountain falling. Rimuru entered the establishment. Reception. Sir, do you have a reservation? The reception asked, shaking. He can feel Rimuru's murderous intent. Rimuru, who saw the noble, went to him, ignoring the reception. Noble. Who the hell are you? Rimuru. Shut it, pig. Did you just ask my wives to be your concubine? Noble. You're their husband. Pathetic. Do you not know who I am? I am the Marquis. So bow to me and give me your wives and I'll make them feel good. Oh, that girl over there is cute too. Give her to me as well. The noble tried to touch Yuna, but he wasn't able to finish as Rimuru held him by the neck. The guards tried to stop Rimuru, but their swords shattered after hitting his skin. Everyone was shaking and scared. It was inhumane. Guard. Monster. Rimuru. You're a sigh. Rimuru's glare was enough to send him out of the establishment. Rimuru was releasing his aura. People started to gather seeing the commotion. Rimuru, who was holding the Marquis by the neck, then goes outside. Marquis, you unhand me. Rimuru then broke the Marquis' arm. Marquis. Aghh. It was brutal. Rimuru took out the guards and knights. Then a few royal knights and Eleanor came. Eleonora, seeing Rimuru and feeling his bloodlust, knows that something happened. Eleonora. Our Rimuru-sama, calm down. Rimuru glanced at Eleonora. His eyes were dark and his dragonic pupils were glowing. Rimuru. This pig dared to ask my wives to be his concubine, such blasphemy. Rimuru then stretched his hand in the air, then a sword materialized. The Marquis, seeing this, was dreading. The others were also panicking. Eleonora knows she can't do anything. But then, Yuna. Rimuru, stop. Yuna hugged Rimuru. Yuna. Please, not here, there are children's watching. Rimuru, hearing this, calmed down. He then sent his sword back to his space. The noble was unconscious. Eleonora. Take that Marquis and his men, send them to the dungeons. Royal Knights. Hi. Rimuru then hugged Yuna. Rimuru. Sorry. Yuna. Rimuru. Yuna hugged Rimuru. People couldn't understand what happened, but a few knew who Rimuru was, and the girls, they saw them in the fight after all. Aren't they the ones who killed the monsters? Why, yeah, and that blue-haired man was said to cut the mount with a swing. I mean, you all saw that mountain being cut, right? Why, yeah. Some admired and looked up to him, but a few were scared. Rimuru, seeing this, looks at his surroundings. He raised his hands, then everything was repaired. No one could comprehend what he did. Rimuru then released the aura of a king. Rimuru. Forgive me, citizens of Elfinica. I let my anger get the better of me. You see, I care deeply for my wives, and those who dare lay a hand of them will feel my wrath. Everyone could only see his majesty, while the men were looking up to him. Random guy. Woo, he is a man among men. Random guy too. Yeah. No man will tolerate someone taking one's wife. Random guy 3. Way to go, showing that noble his place. Random guy 4. Such masculinity, and some women were falling for Rimuru. Random girl. He is so handsome. Random girl 2. Yeah, and the way he protected his wives was so hot. Random girl 3. Can I be your concubine? Shizu, Velzard, Shuna and Yuna glared at the girls who said that. Later on they became clingy to Rimuru, and went back to the mansion. As promised, Rimuru made dinner, and Cliff, who heard what happened, was surprised, but understood Rimuru action. If someone tried to do the same to Eleonora, he would have done the same. He also admired Rimuru, and can now confidently leave Yuna in his hands.